Welcome to the Loire Valley in France, a place where history isn't just written in books. It's built into the very landscape. Dotted with hundreds of breathtaking castles, this region is a fairy tale brought to life. But among all these magnificent structures, one stands taller than the rest, both literally and in legend. I'm talking about the Château de Brissac. This place isn't your average run-of-the-mill castle. It's a colossus, a stone giant that has watched over this valley for centuries. With its soaring towers and sprawling wings, it immediately tells you that it holds stories, secrets, and maybe something more. The sheer scale of it is enough to make your jaw drop, a testament to the ambition and power of the families who called it home. Every great castle has its secrets, but Brissac has one that is particularly famous, a tale passed down through generations that sends a shiver. This is the legend of La Dame Verte, the Green Lady. She is one of France's most famous ghosts, and this chateau is her eternal prison. The story is a classic cocktail of love, betrayal, murder. The Green Lady is not just a vague presence or a cold spot. She is a specter with a name and tragic history woven into the castle stones. The ghost is believed to be Charlotte de Brézé, a noblewoman who lived and died here in the 15th century. Her story begins with a prestigious marriage, but ends in unimaginable tragedy. Visitors and residents have reported encounters for centuries. They speak of a mournful figure, a woman whose eternal unrest is palpable. The name, the Green Lady, comes from the color of the dress she wore in life and is said to still wear in death. To understand the ghost, we have to travel back in time to the 15th century and understand the woman. Charlotte de Brézé was no ordinary person. She was the illegitimate daughter of King Charles VII of France and his beautiful mistress, Agnès Sorel. This royal connection, even on the wrong side of the blanket, made her a very valuable pawn in the game of noble alliances. In 1462, a marriage was arranged for her. She was to wed Jacques de Brézé, the Grand Seneschal of Normandy and the owner of the Château de Brissac. On paper, it was a perfect match, uniting wealth, power, and a hint of royal blood. Jacques de Brézé was a man of his time, a powerful noble known for his passion for hunting and his fierce temperament. The secret affair between Charlotte and Pierre could not stay hidden forever. In a place like a castle, servants, guards, whispers travel fast. On a fateful night in May 1477, a servant seeking favor, sense of duty, decided to expose the lovers. The servant went to Jacques de Brézé. Jacques de Brézé just returned from a hunting trip and told him everything. He told Jacques his wife was not alone in her bedchamber. Pierre de Lavergne was with her. The news hit Jacques like a lightning bolt. The scene in Charlotte's bedchamber was one of pure, unadulterated horror. With his sword in hand, Jacques de Brézé unleashed his fury upon the two lovers. Visual emphasis, sword in hand, close-up. He was judge, jury, executioner, all in one. His attack was swift and merciless. He struck down Pierre de Lavergne first. Pierre had dared to trespass on his property, and he had trespassed on his marriage. The violent act was just the beginning of the nightmare. Charlotte was next. Charlotte, his wife. Charlotte, the mother of his children. The details passed down through history are gruesome. The murders of Charlotte de Brézé and Pierre de Lavergne were not the end of the story. They were just the beginning of a terrifying new chapter for Château de Brissac. Almost immediately After her violent death, strange things began to happen inside the castle. It started with sounds, faint, sorrowful moans of a woman in distress. Jacques de Brézé was the first to hear them. He heard those cries echo through the very corridors where he had committed his crime. The sounds followed him everywhere, a constant, ghostly reminder. The haunting escalated from sounds to sightings. The spirit of Charlotte, the Green Lady, began to appear. She wandered the halls, a translucent woman in a green dress. Her appearances were terrifying. Witnesses said she looked tormented, her face fixed in agony. The most chilling detail, her face described as a decaying skull. Black, empty sockets where eyes and nose should be. For Brissac's residents, it was horrifyingly real. Jacques lived in a personal hell. He was haunted by the wife he had murdered. Fast forward to today. The Château de Brissac is still owned by the same family that acquired it in 1502. It is the private residence of the 13th Duke of Brissac, Charles-André de Cossé-Brissac, and his family. For them, the ghost of the Green Lady isn't just a legend. She's practically a supposed roommate. Imagine growing up where a 15th century ghost story is part of daily life. The current Duke and his family are calm and accepting about their spectral tenant. They don't sensationalize it. They simply acknowledge it as part of the castle's long history. The family has spoken openly about their experiences, confirming the legend is more than a tourist tale. The Duchess has recalled waking up and seeing a woman in green by her bed, then watching her fade away. They've grown accustomed to strange occurrences. The legend of the Green Lady has turned the Château de Brissac into a world-famous destination for a very specific kind of tourism. Many visitors come for the history and architecture, a huge number come for the ghosts. The story of Charlotte de Brézé made the chateau a bucket list location. Paranormal investigators, ghost hunters, anyone fascinated by the supernatural. Featured on TV shows about hauntings, including Ghost Hunters International, cementing its paranormal reputation. This fame impacts the castle, which is open to the public for tours. Guides don't shy away from the ghostly tales, they embrace them. The Green Lady is central to the visitor experience. So why, after more than 5 centuries, does the story of the Green Lady continue to hold such power over us? I think it's because ghost stories like this are about more than just a spooky thrill. They are about history, tragedy, and the deep human need for justice, even beyond the grave. The tale of Charlotte de Brézé is a raw human drama that plays out on a grand stage. It involves love, betrayal, and a brutal act of violence, themes that are as relevant today as they were in the 15th century. Her story resonates because it feels real, a dark stain on the beautiful tapestry of history. These haunted legends serve as a powerful form of historical memory. While history books might give us the dates and names, a ghost story gives us the emotion. It forces us to connect with the past on a personal level. Standing here, as night falls over the giant of the Loire Valley, it's easy to believe that something of Charlotte de Brézé remains. Her story transforms this castle from a pile of stones into a living, breathing entity with a soul. And that is why we will always be drawn to these places, listening for the whispers of those who came before. Whether as a historic monument or a ghostly enigma, Château de Brissac stands as a haunting reminder of the past's dark secrets and the power of unresolved tragedies to echo through the ages. The castle's history of love, betrayal, murder, and restless spirits continues to captivate the imagination of all who visit. Whether as a historic monument or a ghostly enigma, Château de Brissac is unforgettable. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed this legend, subscribe for more tales from places where history still speaks.